so September, for a lot of kids and youngsters, what is the time of year? Back to school, right? Well, same thing for me. So Glenn and I started a class on Monday with my teacher, Dr. James Mellon, at the Global Truth Center in Los Angeles. There's about 63 people in this class on Zoom of various levels of study, on their journey, levels of awareness, consciousness, whatever. And so it's a very different experience for me because I'm used to being in small, intimate classes where everybody is sort of, becoming something, working on some degree or whatever, and we're being stretched and pulled and just whatever out of our comfort zone. And it can be incredibly painful and uncomfortable and disruptive. And so with this class, it wasn't that. And so at the end of it, especially when he assigned our homework, I'm like, okay. So the class is called Quantum Living 101. And what we basically talked about in the first class, there are 10 weeks. And I know it's going to ramp up, it's going to build and all that stuff, right? But in the first one, we were talking about what is consciousness, talking about what is mind. And he was specifically talking about what is relational living versus what is quantum living. And so that's something that we talk about here too. Are you creating from or are you creating as? Are you creating from all the stuff that's going on in your life, the thoughts that you think, the beliefs that you believe, the stories that you tell, all of your memories and experiences that you had up until now, people's expectations and ideas of who you should be, roles that are ascribed to you? Or are you creating as that infinite potentiality that you truly are, as that allness of being, as the infinite possibilities that are available to you at any given moment, as the love that you truly are? And so this is what was, what we were talking about and what we were thinking about in our groups and what we were sharing. And one of the things that we really focused on was this idea that we are a table, or our life experience is kind of a table. And there are 4 components to it, whether it's like the tabletop or the legs that you're talking about. There's our health, there are finances, there are relationship, and then there's our creative expression. And if any one of those corners, quadrants, legs is not being nourished or being attended to, is broken or disconnected, the table is wobbly. So it's really important to focus on everything all the time, because otherwise you're going to have a wobbly experience in life, something unstable. And so the homework that he gave us after these discussions and these sharings was, what are you noticing? And so for me, it was like, I paid money, I spent time to notice things, but right away, as soon as it's like, well, what am I noticing? I'm noticing I'm being judged. I'm noticing that I'm being impatient. I'm noticing that I had some expectations that are not being met. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, look at this, like I'm already doing my homework. So this whole thing of noticing, and I thought this is really cool, because in this month of dream, where the last few talks, we've been talking about dream as sort of a veil, or being asleep, not being awake to who and what we truly are, sort of as an obstacle. But there's also the dream that, is in the song, the dream that a lot of us are talking about today, about opening up to what can we become. And so the acronym that we have in our affirmation, the thing that came up on Sunday, a couple of Sundays ago, was deliberately remembering every awesome miracle. And that one just stuck. Like, it really, really stuck for me. And they have been amazing. And we're actually going to bring them all together, and we're going to form a list of all of the acronyms that have come up over the last month, because there's some bits of really, really neat stuff that's come up. And some of them very similar, because like radical has been used a lot, deliberate has been used a lot, divine. But deliberately remembering every awesome miracle, this idea that as we dream, that we are dreaming as that allness, as that power that Alan Watts is talking about in the video that I was referring to last week, where he's like, what if you knew that you were so powerful that? What if you were so powerful that you could think of all of these different ways that you could be, and that you tried that on? and in all the exciting ways, all the adventurous ways, all the amazing ways, all the positive, fun, exciting ways, and then you realize, oh my God, I'm so powerful. What if I tried something that wasn't really fun? Anyway, so the video goes on, and then ultimately, what if you were so powerful that you could make yourself forget that you're all that powerful? So the dreaming that we're talking about today is the dreaming, is the imagining, is the wondering, is the creating. And the whole idea is, are you dreaming as the infinite expansive universe in action, or are you creating from all the stuff that's happening and going on around you, or even in your mind? And so one thing that Dr. James said in the class that I wrote down, because I thought, ooh, this is a good one, is all the things you're certain of are actually holding you back. So just think about that for a moment. Okay, pennies dropping for people. All the things you're certain of are actually holding you back. So all of the thinking, all of the believing, all of the stories, all of the ideas, all of the everything that has gotten you to right here, right now, is the best that you've had up until now. If you stick with that, you're going to get more of the same. The only way that you can create something different, a different life experience, is to open up to the unknown, to hang a picture, a frame on your wall with nothing in it, and just open up to what wants to be there, what's possible. So my talk title today is, what are you dreaming? And I would like to first of all say it took me a long time to make this slide, because I really, really like this image of a boy that had everything within him, like everything. And then in the original image, there was nothing around him. But I thought, he's looking out, and what is he looking out at? What is he creating his life from? Well, if you take a look, I purposely put all of those words in a color that is very similar to the background, because all of these are components of life that we're so familiar with, that are so etched in who we are in our daily routines that we sometimes don't even notice that they're there. Opinions, roles, beliefs, responsibilities, stories, the known, certainty, the past, thoughts, expectations, memories, and experiences. Patterns was something that came up when someone came in today and said, I think I'm going to sit on this side of the room instead of this side of the room, kind of break up the pattern, Yes, good for you. So I just really, really love what this image represents, because there's always stuff going on around us. And everything that is going on around us is a reflection of what's going on within. And so if we continue to focus on the thoughts, the beliefs, the stories, whatever it is that got us to right here, right now, we're going to keep recycling that experience in slightly different ways, and then might wonder, why do I keep experiencing the same thing? Why do I keep making the same choices? Why do I keep having the same kinds of relationships? Why do I keep attracting the same kind of lousy job? Why do I, at 10 o'clock at night, go and get a bowl of ice cream, with some Smarties on it or something, instead of just going to bed because I know I'm tired and I need to sleep? Not that I'm saying that's me, but it's me. Anyway, so, not the Smarties though, and not the ice cream. But within, is all doable. Within, it could be berries or nuts. Within us is everything that we could ever possibly need, everything that we could ever possibly require to create our best life. All of it. Yet we keep looking outside, for the answers, for the excuses, whatever. The excuses really for my life is this way because. Your life is this way because you created your life this way. That's it. So when we go to the song, it's not the chorus really that got me, it's the opening verse. I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own, through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. And so if we unpack it from a New Thought perspective, I close my eyes and I can see. I close my eyes and I'm no longer focusing on the opinions, on the expectations, on the external whatever that's going on around me. And I can see, I can remember who I truly am. The world that's waiting up for me, it's always there. We don't have to find it outside of us. It's who and what we are. We can access it at any time. That I call my own. This is who and what I am. And when I call my own, like I have a choice. I have a choice to choose this and focus on this and show up as this. Or I can choose this. Through the dark, through the door, uncertainty, what's on the other side. Through where no one's been before, the unknown. Not all this best stuff that has gotten us to where we are now, but the unknown, the unexperienced, the untapped. How exciting is that? How scary can that be? But it feels like home. And that's remembering. That's remembering who we are. It's always there. Whether it is, like slaps upside the head, whether it's quiet little nudges, there are always these little glimmers, these intuitive hits reminding us that we are so much more than what we experience through our five senses, than what we have experienced or thought or believed up until now. And for me, that's what this song is about. That's what dreaming is about. Dreaming as that, rather than dreaming from this. So the point here is to notice how you're dreaming. Are you dreaming from here? Or are you dreaming from here? The quote that we had in meditation by Richard Wagamese, teachings come from everywhere when you open yourself to them. That's the trick of it, really. Open yourself to everything, and everything opens itself to you. So if you stop limiting yourself with all of those opinions and expectations and roles and thoughts and ideas and what other people, might think of me or whatever, if you let that go and open up to the allness of who you are, the infinite power, the potentiality, how much more interesting could life be? How many different versions of yourself could you entertain? How many different things could you open up to in that blank picture frame that's on your wall? Infinite possibilities. So my questions to you are, when you close your eyes, what do you see? What's the world that's waiting up for you? And when you dream, are you dreaming from or are you dreaming as? Thank you, and so it is.